Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. After 2 days of sunshine, snow is back in the forecast. Here's a live look at downtown Spokane. Looks pretty calm at this hour, although a few flakes were falling up here on the South Hill this evening. And on that note, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to find out how much snow we are expecting. Jeremy?
Mark, well, if you kind of like squint your eyes and like one more than the other just a little bit and take a really close look, you can actually see some snow sticking there in downtown already. And the snow's coming down with temperatures right at freezing, but it's all about the appropriate amount of kind of squint when you're looking at it. For that, we have winter weather advisories in effect tonight and tomorrow. And then when it comes to those winter storm warnings, those last through Thursday. That's for a ton of snow up in the mountains, more than a foot in parts of North Idaho, more than 2 feet over some of the mountain passes. It's also a whole lot of wind gusting at 45 to 55 miles per hour in central Washington is prompting wind advisories. We've already got that snow coming down, but this isn't even the worst of it. It's kind of a first little initial wave. That moves out. We wind up seeing more snow build in the next few hours, but it looks like things turn over to rain, especially in downtown before the sun comes up. And then it's rain from then out as temperatures soar. We're back in the mid-40s and rainy tomorrow afternoon. Wind keeps us warm overnight Thursday. We stay in the 40s all day long.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. In less than 12 hours, Idaho is scheduled to execute Thomas Creech, the longest-serving death row inmate in the state. The 73-year-old was sentenced to death for killing a fellow inmate, David Jensen, inside a state prison back in 1981. He is convicted of 5 murders in total. But just 24 hours ago, Creech's attorney asked the U.S. Supreme Court to step in before his execution and delay it again. Tonight, that petition is still pending. During Creech's last clemency hearing, family members said he's a, quote, changed man.
I've never known anybody like Tom. He understands things so deeply and is such a caring person. I don't know how anybody could not love him. How did I end up being married to somebody on death row? But I don't look at him like that.
Our Boise sister station spoke with the University of Idaho law professor. He said down-to-the-wire petitions are pretty standard before an execution, but it is unlikely that it will be stayed, he said. If it is, it'll likely be temporary. Also, tomorrow we could find out the date of Brian Kohberger's murder trial. He is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. The defense is asking that more investigators be allowed to view certain genetic evidence. Tomorrow, the court will also discuss moving Brian Kohberger's trial out of Latah County. That hearing starts at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Limited staffing remains an issue for the Spokane Police Department, especially over the past month, as SPD put 17 officers on leave after recent shootings. The department's staffing struggle was evident this weekend. SPD says several officers, investigators, and specialty units responded to 4 critical incidents. That includes SWAT, explosive disposal unit, hostage negotiators, and drone operators. Lieutenant Terry Pruniger says this level of response took resources away from responding to other potential calls.
If I'm a patrol officer and I'm on a patrol team of 6 or 7 officers, and let's say 2 of those officers are on specialty units and get called away to a special event, you just took away a significant percentage of the resources that that sector had to do their regular patrol job. And those calls don't stop coming in.
He said officers who work on a specialty unit are also full-time investigators or patrol officers. So when they are called away to their specialty unit, that takes them away from their full-time position. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The Spokane Fire Department is sounding the alarm following a series of fires within the last couple of weeks. Investigators believe some of those are the result of arson. So here's what we know. The first fire happened on February 12th on West Barnes Road. Firefighters responded to a parked van on fire. 2 more happened yesterday, including one at the old spaghetti factory that investigators believe was arson. Officials with Spokane Fire say security video showed a man coming up and lighting debris on fire before then walking off.
10 seconds, 15 seconds, it was pretty quick. They walked up, bent over, lit it on fire, and walked off. So, and then it burned for quite a long time without anybody really noticing or intervening.
Spokane Fire is still investigating. Right now, they do not believe the fires are related, but they say they do share some commonalities. And the man accused of murdering a 3-year-old boy made his first appearance in a Spokane Superior Court today. John Jones faces second-degree murder charges. He was dating the toddler's mother at the time. Last month, she called 911 saying her child wasn't breathing. She told police that Jones was alone with her 2 kids for about 2 hours while she was grocery shopping. When she came home, court documents showed Jones immediately left and never came back. He was later found and arrested in Las Vegas. It is still unclear how the toddler died. Jones remains behind bars tonight. His bond is set at $1 million. Also in court today, 18-year-old Caleb Hullings. He's accused of stabbing and killing 76-year-old Alvin Gallegos last April on Spokane South Hill. According to court documents, the death was originally listed as a suicide, but after further investigation, prosecutors linked the crime to a hat matching Hullings' DNA. He is charged with second-degree murder. His bond is set at $250,000. And today, Spokane County Commissioners approved a grant awarding just over $740,000 to Thrive International. The grant is to help communities stabilize incoming refugees. Executive Director Mark Finney says they'll use this money to expand their operations to provide more affordable housing, including another transitional housing facility like the Thrive Center.
You know, we've housed probably around 600 refugees in the last 2 years, but during that same time period, we've had almost 4 or 5 times that number of folks who've come in the community. Not everybody needs a housing facility like this, but it definitely helps.
The Thrive Center along I-90 was quickly converted from a hotel to short-term housing after Ukraine was invaded back in 2022. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. Well, it is almost game time for State B basketball, the tournament right here in Spokane. But even before tip-off tomorrow, the city's already getting a boost. KREM 2's Cody Proctor brings us more from outside the Spokane Arena tonight.
Well, in less than 12 hours, the Spokane Arena will be filled with teams playing in the State B basketball tournament. Dozens of teams are set to take part, bringing with them thousands of fans. And that could be a layup for Spokane's economy.
It's the night before game time, and there's still a lot to do before the first tip-off of this year's State B basketball tournament. Over the next few days, dreams will be made or crushed as 48 teams battle it out for a state title.
You know, it's a state championship, so that's what we're trying to do here is find who the best team is.
But one of the real winners of the tournament will be Spokane's economy. According to tournament co-director Dave Ticker, the tournament generates about $4 million each year. He says last year they saw about 20,000 people come through the arena.
For the next 4 days, there'll be very few hotel rooms available and all the restaurants will be packed, so that's a good thing.
One thing that could put a damper on this year's tournament is the forecast, with snow expected to slam Snoqualmie Pass, the same pass several teams need to travel through to get to Spokane. Ticker hopes those teams traveled early so they don't miss out on the tournament.
It's a special moment. It's a memory. It's something that they're gonna have for years to come.
And win or lose, those state basketball memories are priceless.
Now, the first games of the State B basketball tournament start bright and early Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And for everything you need to know, check out our website, KREM.com. In Spokane, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Voters in the battleground state of Michigan went to the polls today, the state holding Republican and Democratic primaries. On the Democratic side, President Joe Biden easily won. A block of Michigan voters chose uncommitted. Pro-Palestinian activists want to send a message about the president's response to the Israel-Hamas conflict. Meanwhile, on the Republican side, former President Donald Trump defeated Nikki Haley, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less